The GOP Pirates, starring Reese Boyd III. Reese is a former vice chair and former state EC for the Horry County Republican Party. He lost his bid to become chairman of the Horry County GOP Party in 2001. With Jim Furry. Jim is a former FBI agent who has chaired the Bylaws Committee for Horry County and lost his bid to become vice chairman in 2021. And Don Bound. Don uses his weekly radio guest appearances on 94.5 WTKN to promote Reese. He is the leader of Red Hats America, formerly Red Hats Trump, until he heard from the Trump administration. He is on the board for the Veterans Welcome Home and Resource Center. He is a founding member of the Horry County Conservative Alliance, which uses the Veterans Welcome Home and Resource Center to try and attain political viability. Guest starring Jerry McDaniel. Jerry got fired by the Trump campaign but still wants to stay relevant. She can contact all the important people on her phone and even raised her phone way up high at one meeting to say she was talking to the state party chairman. And very special guest, Shannon Grady. Grady was the president of the Horry County Republican Women's Club until she had a disagreement with Jerry, and currently is the state EC for the Horry County GOP. She is also known as the Whistleblower. The GOP Pirates is produced by Drew McKissick. They cannot function without him. Drew McKissick is the state chairman for the South Carolina Republican Party. He is upset with the Horry County Republican Party because the citizens of Horry didn't elect the candidates he liked during the 2021 reorg. He rules South Carolina like a tyrannical king. He knows better than the citizens of each county who should represent them. He does not allow any grassroots patriots to have any say. He would rather order establishment sycophants to do his bidding than to have to deal with people who are not in the cabal he controls. The GOP Pirates is directed by Hope Walker. Hope is the executive director for the South Carolina Republican Party. She has the unenviable job of carrying out King McKissick's orders. She dare not cross him because she has seen firsthand what he does to political enemies. McKissick is working with the GOP Pirates to bypass and therefore overturn the election results of the biannual reorganization held in 2020. My SCGOP is an organization of patriots who want to educate people about reorg. The establishment does not want new people because they may be a threat to the cabal in power. The establishment hates my SCGOP and any candidates they promote. My SCGOP leadership taught participants how the establishment is more interested in keeping power than adhering to the principles of the Constitution. The establishment wants centralized control by them versus decentralized control by the people participating in reorg. It is the king versus the people. At reorg, we can vote the tyrant out. Reorg occurs every 2 years. Republicans living within a precinct vote for the people to represent them at the precinct level, then vote for county representatives, then vote for state representation. The HCCA, or Horry County Conservative Alliance, was founded by Don Bound and the GOP Pirates. Remember, Don is on the board for the Veterans Welcome Home and Resource Center, or VWHRC. Their big project is to build tiny homes for veterans. Don is using the VWHRC for, quote, exposure, end quote, to give the HCCA a political life. The GOP Pirates are also very close to the congressman for our local District 7, Russell Fry. Two of Russell Fry's chief campaign staff, Michelle and Robert Visconti, are the leaders of the HCCA. Establishment candidate Mike Connett, who lost in his bid to become state EC in 2021, is also very involved in HCCA. Emperor McKissick gets a list of the new Republicans moving into South Carolina. He is supposed to give the list to the chairman of each county party so that they can be contacted. One of McKissick's more egregious, dirty deeds was to bypass the HCGOP and give the list to the Horry County Republican Women's Club. They are a club of unelected people McKissick used to circumnavigate around the duly elected HCGOP. The whistleblower still has the list. Roger never saw it. McKissick did not want our local party to grow. McKissick set forth an edict proclaiming that no Republican official may attend any event set up by the HCGOP. They were allowed to go to unelected club events, but nothing the elected representatives of Horry put together. Chad Caton had a local radio show called I'm Fired Up, which kept his audience informed as to what was going on inside local politics. He told his audience in every show that politics starts local. The establishment did not like him and made sure his show was canceled. He was an integral part of educating the public about reorg, and is how I found out about the opportunity to get involved. The tagline for his show is Show Up, Stand Up, Speak Up. It's your republic, fight for it. Chad moved his show online, and I'm Fired Up can be seen on several social media platforms. Shannon Grady, the whistleblower, appeared on I'm Fired Up and revealed to Chad that she was involved with meetings to circumnavigate the duly elected leadership of the people of Horry County. She stated that Reese Boyd was the leader of the coup that was trying to take over the HC GOP. Chad Caton, Tracy Beans, who is an investigative journalist for her company Uncover DC and was the HCGOP state EC, Reese Boyd and Don Bound all appeared regularly in some form on 94.5 conservative talk radio. Reese and Don worked with their powerful connections to take Chad and Tracy off the air. Now all the audience hears is whatever propaganda they spew. Tracy was an elected representative of the HCGOP. She could have kept our citizens informed as to what was going on in both county and state politics. The establishment could not tolerate an informed citizen. Liz Calloway has a weekday morning show with Nick Summers on 94.5. She heard about the meeting that Reese set up with the GOP pirates and Lieutenant Governor Pamela Abbott. Reese is a guest every Friday. Liz asked Reese about the meeting. Reese deflected, didn't answer, and lied about the meeting. Reese's lies forced Shannon Grady to reveal her inside information to Chad. Shannon was part of a Telegram chat room called the GOP Pirates. There are hours of analysis and interviews by Chad with hundreds of messages that are revealed on Facebook on the I'm Fired Up page. They reveal, in their own words, how much they despise their fellow Republicans by calling them stormtroopers, fascists, and Bolsheviks. They did not get elected, and they were going to teach the people of Horry County a lesson of who is actually in control. They declared their love of the establishment and hatred for the grassroots patriot. The following are just a few of the messages that incriminate the GOP pirates in their totally unethical pursuit of power. On day one, Reese, then Don, post pictures of pirates that they like. I find the pathology of using the term pirate fascinating. Pirates loot and plunder items that do not belong to them. Hurry. I think the five of us are already formulating a unified opposition. The pirates have been working on opposing the HCGOP for an unknown period of time. Furry. Agreed. Maybe Drew could meet with us sometime and give us some ideas how to counter the grassroots effort. Does Furry understand how the GOP works? The Republican Party is built from the grassroots up by electing leadership to represent them. Does Furry believe that McKissick should dictate down to the grassroots what he and the establishment want? Furry. Reese did great having Shannon and Linda on this morning. Furry thinks using Reese's show for propaganda is very important. McDaniel. I spoke to Hope, and I think we can continue moving forward with the Horry County Women's Republican Club as the auxiliary club that Drew suggested in Greenville. We are already doing the work that needs to be done. Drew suggested bypassing the election results by using an unelected group that he favored. Bound. I totally agree, and I think we must keep a unified front between the three groups. Currently, there are three different groups working together to harm the HCGO. Hurry. I wish WTKN didn't give Tracy any airtime as well. Hurry. And when we get a steady stream of Henry McMaster, Pamela Evitt, Lindsey Graham, Tim Scott, etc., visiting our groups and ignoring them, people will be asking, what's wrong with them? Bound. Totally agree with your assessment, Jim. Boyd. If you guys want to pass along advice to folks to write the station, when letters start to show up with the general manager's name on it, they pay attention. Bound. Just for the record, I have told Liz personally, when Tracy Beans gets on the air every Wednesday at 8 o'clock, I turn the station off for half hour. Tracy lost her segment on the radio, a segment that helped drive people like me to her news website. They took away a revenue stream from Tracy to silence her from telling the public the wonderful things the HCGOP was doing. The establishment could not let a representative the people voted for have a voice. Tracy has said on numerous occasions that she got involved with the HCGOP to fight Democrats, only to find Republicans were fighting her. Down. I say maybe it's time to take the gloves off and fight the local HCGOP with vengeance. Boyd. In the next couple of weeks, Drew is going to be a guest and we'll spend some time reflecting on it all. Bound. I plan on talking about it tomorrow on the radio. I am primed to attack, but I want the attack to have maximum effect. Hurry. Anything back on Kitten's FOIPA request? Said there was no information which could be released and nothing on Elizabeth. Boyd. Guys, I am just thinking that we want to start a new organization, but we want it to be an organization that won't be tagged as a proxy organization for the HCGOP. Horry County Republican Citizens Alliance. Just thinking out loud. The pirates really want to fight the Grassroots patriots who participated in record numbers to elect representatives that were not the same good old boy, swampy, establishment, power-hungry cabal. They will use the radio and FOIPA requests. They want to start a new, unelected organization to fight the elected organization. Lawyer Tucker emailed me and wants to talk to me. Tucker is the lawyer for a leftist activist that threatened General Michael Flynn at a Republican event in Greenville, South Carolina. It seems that the GOP pirates have been colluding with Democrats to take down the Republican Party in Horry County. McDaniel. I talked to Hope. She called. We just need 10 people. She also asked if we had contacted Mike Conant. The state is informing the GOP pirates how to proceed in bypassing the authority that the duly elected representatives received from the electorate. Furry, have you read the Sun News article that Tucker Player will drop the lawsuit if all the officers resign and Chad retracts his statement? He says otherwise he will sue all of the 8 CGOP ECs personally. This was obviously a scare tactic. None of the ECs were in Greenville other than leadership. Tucker worked with the pirates to have a meeting whereby anybody who signed an agreement would not be sued. The suit became a weapon used by the pirates to divide the party, just what the Democrats want. Furry, they are real radicals. 100% of their bodies believe they are right. Perfect extremist stormtroopers. The GOP pirates have convinced themselves that the representatives the people elected are evil stormtroopers. This allows them to abide by the leftist mantra of the ends justify the means and act in whatever unethical way they want. Furry. Tucker Player emailed me and said that he will be in touch later. I believe going forward, he will be taking depositions, and I'm hoping he will file for a huge amount of damage. Bound. Should someone get a hold of David Hux? Hux is a local news writer who is used by the GOP pirates to get their anti-HCGOP propaganda out. Boyd. I will let him know. The pirates lost at the ballot box. Because they are sore losers, they want money flowing from the Republicans into the hands of Democrats. Boyd. Hey guys, just a reminder that we are meeting today at 5 in my office. Reese told listeners on WTKN 94.5 that he had held a meeting that the whistleblower spoke about, but he was only the host and didn't have any more involvement than that. McDaniel, odd that his wife resigned from Shannon's group. This refers to a woman who had a leadership position in the women's group that McKissick was working with. She found out and did the right thing by resigning. Shannon realized she was in the wrong later on and resigned from the women's group as well. These two ladies are to be commended for making a hard choice that probably cost them some friendships. Too bad the remaining pirates won't come clean. Okay, so here's the app that we discussed last night. The pirates are going to use an app to help them with their mission to bypass the will of the people. Furry. Reese, I am still friends with my FBI intelligence supervisor. She's retired. I told her there were some people I was interested in finding out about. It seems FBI agents abusing their power is systemic. Is he investigating a crime in search of a criminal? No, he is investigating people searching for a crime. This is the deep state that Trump exposed. McDaniel, this is the worst meeting I have ever been to. Furry, they escorted Larry Richardson out again. There are rules and procedures on how to conduct meetings. People that are expert on Robert's Rules of Order can weaponize the rules to their advantage. They can disrupt, they can cause chaos, and they can end meetings by using their expertise in parliamentary procedures. Larry was a serial disruptor who constantly stood up to bring meetings to a screeching halt. This helped the GOP pirates scare away newcomers. By scaring away newcomers, the establishment hopes to get a higher percentage of votes to control the party. Boyd, guys, I got my walking papers tonight. Certified mail. They are kicking me out of the GOP. McDaniel, did you miss 3 in a row, LOL? Boyd, but apparently, yes, I've missed the magic number, and they are jumping at the opportunity. On the radio, Boyd said he didn't know why he was kicked out and told the listeners he was on a hit list. He failed to represent his precinct. His removal allows someone else to represent the precinct. Bound. In my opinion, anybody trying to work with this group only gives them credibility and destroys what we're trying to do ourselves. On the radio and on Facebook, Bound preaches unity. In reality, Mr. Red Hat wants nothing to do with unifying the 8C GOP. He only seeks division. Furry. What would be wrong with an establishment party of the opposition factions and groups? Maybe we should de facto have a Republican Party. Shannon, are we registering voters from some of their precincts? Furry wants to form a Republican Party that only has establishment people in it and doesn't care if it's right or wrong. Grassroots people are out. McDaniel, nothing has happened with the suit. Tucker is working on other stuff. Seems like McDaniel has inside knowledge of the lawyer who is representing the Democrat against fellow Republicans. Furry, hi. All my plans were ruined early this morning when I learned about the proposal by the Bylaws Committee Thursday night to allow 8C GOP ECs and officers to campaign, support candidates before the primary. Furry is upset that citizens will be allowed to help candidates they like during primaries. Even the establishment says it's okay. He believes we are to shut up, sit down, and do what you're told. Furry thinks we should only vote for establishment candidates and never help a grassroots campaign to grow. Show of hands. Who is planning on going to the 8C GOP meeting? Boyd, I think I'll go just to throw a little gasoline on the fire. Bound, I just might go and throw gasoline with you. Personally, this makes my blood boil. I saw establishment ECs disrupt meetings from the very beginning, then alert the media that meetings were chaotic. The above shows the GOP pirates gleefully colluding to disrupt meetings. Boyd had the nerve to call the 8C GOP a dumpster fire, a fire he lit. I had to leave. I couldn't take it anymore. There's nothing more valuable in this planet than time. And when I realize I'm wasting time, I start to get the shake. The election commissioner came to speak at the meeting Reese is referring to. Reese has been a poll worker manager. He could have stayed to the end to help answer questions for people who might be interested in becoming poll workers. The meeting was actually so inspiring that my wife and I decided to become poll workers. Reese did not want to participate in anything that might help the HC GOP. Boyd, wow, pretty powerful stuff. And it is sad, but they are evil. They're not Republicans, they're fascists. There's a big difference. Furry, for sure. To give them the psychopathy to justify their own unethical actions. Fascists remove all opposition from all forms of media, like radio. Wait, what do you mean changing the bylaws is no big deal? I've actually had a couple people call me about suing the 8C GOP. I think there may be something worth pursuing. So, if the state party says it's nothing to worry about, I'm not going to waste time stressing. Boy, Boyd, you can't be upfront with a Bolshevik, Jim. They are deceitful little bastards. Bound, I guess it's okay to agree with you. Boyd really wants to sue the Republican Party that he wanted to lead. He is also running out of disparaging words for Republicans that don't agree with him. Boyd, let me remind everyone of the oath of confidentiality surrounding this discussion group. Furry, boy, you are so right. Thumbs up emoji. Bound, I don't talk. B, what discussion group? Boyd, the soft, rebellious underbody of the HCGOP. All know they are doing something wrong. I went to Bylaws last night. He, Chad Caton, ordered me to move, and I told him I was free to stand wherever I want. Then Elizabeth, Chad's wife, started yelling at me about, "We know who you are," and Chad walked by me and they left. I was at the Bylaws meeting. Chad's wife saw Furry sneaking up on Chad while he was talking to a few people. She took out her phone to record what Jim might do and yelled, "Get away from him, Jim." The GOP pirates worked with Drew McKissick and other establishment Republicans and the media to make it extremely difficult for county leadership to run the party effectively. At the September 12, 2002 EC meeting, the entire leadership team resigned. They resigned with an effective date of September 30th. Let me repeat, effective September 30th. Jeremy Halpin, the vice chair, had resigned earlier. Chairman Slagle said, "I thought we brought back some integrity to this party and this county. For all members who have joined us in this piperless movement, thank you. We encourage you to keep fighting. Unfortunately, the state party and the opposition from within our party has made the situation untenable." At a special meeting on September 26, called by the acting and current chairman, Roger rescinded his resignation. There is nothing in any state or local bylaw that states this cannot be done. There is case law that states it is legal. There is also common sense that states things become effective on their effective date. Roger called the meeting to elect the remaining leadership positions. At this meeting, the EC body recognized Roger as the current chairman and had proper quorum. Bylaw states 2/3 of ECs are needed to elect leadership if there are resignations. Mike Conant whispered to another establishment person to make a motion to adjourn the meeting so that the elections could not take place. There weren't any Roger supporters wishing to run for leadership, meaning the establishment canceled a lawful election to elect themselves into leadership positions. McKissick, the GOP pirates, and establishment leadership from the HCCA did not see this as an opportunity to unite the party. Roger could have remained as chairman, and the establishment would have a vice chair and state EC. Both the establishment and the Grassroots patriots would have representation. The Drew crew decided they wanted it all. They held a meeting that did not have the required 2/3 membership required to vote for leadership. Conant admitted such, but said the parliamentarians said it was okay, so they proceeded. They illegally elected pirate Reese Boyd to a chairman position that was never vacated. HCCA members Conant and Visconti were also elected to leadership positions. Again, the election was illegitimate because it did not have proper quorum. McKissick then wrote a letter that said the illegally elected leadership was now officially sanctioned. His letter is worthless because the ECs of each county have the sole authority to remove leadership. The ECs never accepted Roger's resignation, and Roger rescinded before the effective date. McKissick says he accepted the resignation, and that somehow makes it effective. Obviously, it is only effective on the effective date. The GOP pirates never wanted to unite with the representatives that the citizens of Horry County elected. They started to work against the party as soon as possible. They detest grassroots patriots, so they hatched a plot with state chairman Drew McKissick to use unelected clubs to circumnavigate the wishes of the Horry County electorate. They held an illegal election to divide the party. At every step, the establishment and the GOP pirates went against the wishes of the people and obeyed the orders of McKissick. It is vital that the citizens of Horry County tell all their friends and family to show up at Reorg 2023 to vote McKissick out. To find out more about how you can get involved, please go to myscgop.com. Shannon Grady should be lauded for her courage in admitting she was wrong. The woman who resigned when she found out about their dirty deeds also needs to be commended. The leadership of the falsely elected group needs to do the right thing, like these brave women have done, and resign. Their resignations with brand new state party chairman is the only way to heal a divided Horry County GOP. Trump exposed the swamp, the unelected administrative state, and the deep state in D.C. He asked us to drain the swamp. There is very little we can do about D.C. At Reorg 2021, the citizens of Horry started draining the swamp by electing representatives with zero ties to the swamp. After Reorg 2023, when McKissick is voted out, the swamp can become solid ground where we can build on the strong foundation set forth in our Constitution that we have a government of the people, for the people, and by the people. God bless America.